Hi, I'm Barbara Balfour and you're watching Daytime Ottawa. Valerie Leloup likes her food naked. At least that's what it says on her reusable tote bag, which features the logo of her zero-waste lifestyle store, which just opened up in Hintonburg a couple days ago. Valerie, thank you so much for joining us.
Thanks for having me.
Tell us a little bit about New Grocery. That's your new store that just opened up a couple days ago.
Yeah.
And there's an interesting play of words in the name that you chose for your store.
Yes, so we chose the word new. It's written N-U. We chose it because it sounds like new in English, and it is a new way of doing grocery shopping, so we thought it was quite fitting. It also means naked in French, so we thought there was a nice pun here, because we're offering naked food, so food that is unpackaged, or when it is packaged in packaging that you can return, that you can reuse, and so we create absolutely zero waste.
And that's the heart of the zero waste lifestyle, which is basically packaging free, but there's also 5 specific R's to follow.
Yes, so I would say the packaging-free side is one aspect of the zero-waste lifestyle. I would say as a whole, it is a lifestyle of voluntary simplicity, where you try to ask yourself the question, well, do I really need all these things? And if I need them, can I buy them, or can I satisfy this need without creating mountains of waste? So there are different aspects of this. So the 5 R's you mentioned: refuse, so refuse the things that you don't need; reduce, so when you do need something, buy less of it. I would think clothes, for example, is a good example, right?
I'm really bad with that.
Yeah, me too, but I'm getting there. Reduce, reuse, so try to go with reusable alternatives instead of single-use. For example, packaging would be single-use plastic, switch it with a reusable jar. And then recycle, once you've exhausted all the other ones, and rot would be for the composting.
What kinds of things can we find at your store?
Pretty much everything with the exception of meat and fish. So if you think about all your daily needs, so if you need milk, if you need nuts, if you need cereals, if you need cheese, if you think about everything, produce, cleaning products, beauty products, so the whole range, but no meat, no fish.
And you have kombucha on tap, I heard.
Yes, yes.
Yeah, and freshly made hummus.
Yep.
Nothing goes to waste. You mentioned earlier that produce that is on the verge of spoiling is then turned into a dish for the next day.
Exactly, that's the plan. So every time we have produce that we cannot sell anymore, we don't throw it away, we process it. So we have a chef who comes, collects the food, cooks it the next day, and makes fresh dishes from scratch, so that we never throw away food.
So do you have to be really organized to go grocery shopping when you're following a zero-waste lifestyle?
It certainly helps. It certainly helps to plan a little bit ahead. If you're already someone who goes to your store with a shopping list, it's not much different, except you replace the shopping list by your containers. So you'll say, oh, I need honey, well, that's like 1 container. I need maple syrup, oh, that's a bottle. And your containers become your shopping list. If you're someone who completely improvises, it's probably a bit more challenging to follow this lifestyle, which is why we thought about that and said, well, how can we entice people to come to the store even if they're not fully prepared, which may happen even to a zero-waster, actually. So for that, we offer jars that people can borrow. Well, this is one that they can buy, but we have jars that they can borrow. They borrow them for a $1 deposit. They get the deposit back when they bring back the jar. Or we have paper bags for dry foods.
So you don't really need anything to get started. You can just show up.
No, and I would say probably that's what people are, well, although I have to say I was really surprised that so many people showed up with jars already this week. I didn't expect that. I thought everyone would come just to check it out, and some people were very well prepared already, so that's
It sounds like
cool.
Ottawa's really ready for this. It's not just a fringe movement.
Yes, I think so.
Why is it important?
It is important because we create mountains of waste, and I think we can all relate to that. Waste is a very tangible nuisance. You go to the grocery store, you come back, you have almost as much packaging waste as products that you buy. And the statistics are really staggering, in particular if you think about plastic waste. We know that the equivalent of a truckload of waste leaks into the ocean every minute. So we've been talking for 4 minutes, so it's already 4 truckloads of waste that are leaching into the ocean.
That's amazing. You really put it into perspective there.
Yeah. Absolutely. So we need to do something about it. We need to change the way we consume, and that's one step in this direction.
You brought some zero waste accessories to show us today. What have you got here?
Okay, so I started actually, if you're not yet a zero waster, there's still things that you can do to reduce your waste, and these are very simple things. First thing, the grocery tote, right?
Yes.
So you avoid plastic bags. The water bottle, so you don't buy the plastic water bottles. This is a stainless steel water bottle, very light. The coffee mug, you know, so you don't use those single-use coffee cups. So that's something that everyone can do, right?
Baby steps.
Baby steps, exactly, exactly. Well, you can start with this. And then for grocery shopping, I bought a little bit the typical kit of a zero waster. So the jar for wet products, you would put probably cheese in it, the hummus that we mentioned, nut butters, that's where you would put them. The produce bag, so most of the time you don't really need a bag for produce. You know, if you just buy bananas, you don't need a bag. If you buy, I don't know, an onion, you don't need a bag. But if you buy Brussels sprouts, this is quite, exactly, this is quite handy. And then the bulk bag, so that's the bag where you will put, so it's organic cotton. You would put all the dry goods, the nuts, the beans, the rice, the cereals, etc.
Now these are some of the items along with compostable toothbrushes and sponges that we can find both in your store and also online. What's your website for people who want to check it out or order something?
So it's New Grocery, so nugrocery.com.
Newgrocery.com, and we can also find you on other media channels?
Yes, please. Follow us on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram. We're very active, although in the last 3 days I was so busy with the story. I didn't post much, but
thank you so much for joining us today. It's very inspirational.
Thanks for having me.
Love the movement. Don't go away. When we come back, we'll be talking to Jennifer Madigan. She's a mommy blogger who's going to teach us how we can travel with our children, small children, and do it painlessly. We'll be right back.